Hello guys, welcome to the channel. It's the Branded Dude, and today I have another branded replay for you guys. We are going up against Ryzeal, Fiendsmith again. This game was a bit of a grind for me, but I'll show you how it went out, so let me not spoil anything here. But before we continue, do please join the Discord and also follow me on Instagram. Links will be in the description, and I might also put it in the comments below. But anyways, thank you guys for your support. Please do like, comment and subscribe, and let's hop on straight into the duel. Here in the rock, paper, scissors, I believe my Ryzeal player won. He won it and he chose to go first. Opening hands, we have Kolbai, Aluba, Kit, Thrust and Eclipse. This is a pretty decent hand. Kolbai and Eclipse as well, to Eclipse to flip the monsters face down. Cool. Opponent opens Duel, Ash Blossom, Tract, Bonfire and Imperm. Cool. Bonfire gives him access to his Ryzeal plays, and the Tract will give him access to his Fiendsmith. Opponent, it does have the Duel, Ash and Imperm. Honestly, it is so annoying how Bestials is now all over the place. Them just targeting my fusion monsters in the graveyard and banishing them. Guys, it's so annoying. But anyways, opponent goes Bonfire, and here he summons Ice summons X. Thought he was going to go for Sword, but he searches Sword. Then he goes into Evil Swarm, so it gives him access to his Fiendsmith engine. So yeah, Fiendsmith engine is in play. Sequence is here. Desiree is coming out. Cool. He's going to continue further with his Ryzeal plays once this is done by summoning Sword from hand. Cool. Sword X is back in the hand. X send Aggregator. Dio Drive is here. Searches the Ryzeal Cross, and I think he searches Ice. No, he searches Node Ryzeal. Fiendsmith Tract will dump Lurry. Lurry will summon itself. Cross now, Node here, so he summoned Lurry because Node needed something to send. Anyways, Node did reborn the sword, and then he overlaid into Abyss Dweller. Now he's using the field spell to draw, shuffles back 2, draws into an effect Veiler. So now my opponent has Ash Blossom and Veiler and also a Duel. Cool. There is no detonator, but my opponent does have Abyss Dweller, Desiree and also the field spell, which he can detach off Dio Drive. Cool. Anything in the graveyard? No, nothing at the moment. No Lacrima. So he goes to end phase and we draw for turn. Here we draw into Fallen of Albaz. It's not the best draw, but I mean, at least we have an Albaz name in our hand. We then go to main phase. In draw phase, my opponent does go Abyss Duel, and unfortunately we do not have a way to negate this, so it will resolve. So now all our graveyard effects are negated for this turn. We go to main phase. First we start off with Thrust, since my opponent did activate Abyss Dweller. Here I was hoping to bait an Imperm because I do have a Luba and a Kolbai, so we're just trying to... Sorry, did I say bait an Imperm? Sorry, trying to bait an Ash Blossom, sorry. We search Brand of Fusion, but that's fine because we do have Kolbai the Grave. So now here I start off with Brand of Fusion. I could have normal summoned a Luba, did some things, but I decided we are safe just to go with Brand of Fusion, see where we go from there, and then we will normal summon a Luba, and I can search any other Brand of Spell Trap, hopefully to help me keep pushing through this board. So we go Brand of Fusion, my opponent changed Ash Blossom, we chain Kolbai, and my opponent then activates Desiree, but we meet him with Book of Eclipse, so Desiree is going to lose the link to equip, so won't be able to negate anything, and Ash Blossom is going to be negated. Cool. Graveyard effects are negated right now for this turn, so we go into Albion, sending Albaz and Lubellion. We go Albion effect, but my opponent does have the effect Veiler, so no fusion for us. Tributes Albion to summon Lubellion. My opponent then bestials my Albion in the graveyard, which is unfortunate. Anyways, we then go Lubellion effect to place Branded Lost. I place Branded Lost because we can still search. We do have an Albaz Engrave, so we can search Branded in red or branded in white, so may as well get the search of Lost as well. Summon a Luba, normal summon a Luba actually, and we search Branded in white. We then go Branded in white, and we fusion summon into Borrowload Furious. I don't go into Lubellion because I do want to use Kit to recycle a Brand Spell Trap or add a card from deck to hand, so I don't go to the Lubellion. Also, if going into Furious, we can clear up my opponent's board a bit further. On summon, we then go Lost, searching for Cartesia. Now here was a bit of a misplay. I should have used Furious effect on its summon to pop this back row, but yeah, anyways, you live and you learn. We then summon Cartesia from hand because we do have an Albaz in the grave. Here, now what I do is I go Chainlink 1 Furious, targeting Cartesia and his back row. My opponent, I don't think, yeah, he was initially he wasn't planning on activating the Imperm, but in that case I went Chainlink to Cartesia. But then my opponent decided, actually I want to chain the Imperm as well as Chainlink 3. But I mean, it's DB, we're all learning, so if we got better players, I don't mind giving them the opportunity to take back and do that. So Chainlink 1 Furious, Chainlink 2 Cartesia, assuming that wasn't like a card he could activate, and then he goes Chainlink 3 Imperm on the Cartesia. So unfortunately we won't get a fusion, and also Cartesia is going to be destroyed. So that is a bit rough, because if Cartesia remained on the field, we would be able to have a way to fusion summon. So maybe I should have targeted maybe Lubellion or Luba, but it is what it is. Cool. So here I was just checking what the defense stats were on the cards that were face down. I then enter battle phase. In battle phase, we get rid of Abyss Duel. Obviously get rid of that card, we don't want it there. I then destroy which one is that, Duel Drive with Furious. I don't attack Desiree because Desiree can send one of my special summon cards to the grave, so we're not going to do that. And Jerusalem, same case as well. So we just destroy those two and go to main phase and proceed to end phase. End phase, my opponent gets to draw one card. He draws Bestial Lubellion and he draws Sword for his turn. Cool. Here my opponent goes with Lubellion, searching Magnamut. He then goes Mag, targeting my Albaz, which is fine. Mag will get its search in end phase. Tributes Jerusalem, and Jerusalem will send Furious, but then we chain Furious to pop his field spell. Then go a Luba, because even though Furious did pop my Luba to destroy his field spell, since a face of fusion monster did go to grave because of opponent's card, a Luba will trigger to summon itself and negate. So here we target Lubellion to negate, so he doesn't get regained set up on the field. My opponent then links into Agnum Day, sending all three of the two Bestials and Desiree. Desiree's effect will send the Bestial Lubellion, I think. No, he doesn't use that. Oh no, he sends it. Branded Lost, sorry. He actually sends Branded Lost. Agnum Day then reborns Desiree. He then uses, what's the name? Sequence to equip. So now Desiree is at, let's see, he has 5,800 attack, I believe. I think he's at 5,800, yeah. He then special summon Sword. Sword will search X. X will summon itself by sending the Evil Swarm card, XD's card, to the grave. Summons into Detonate, overlays into Detonate. Actually, Detonator does attach the Aggregator. He then enters battle phase, gets rid of Lubellion, and then he attacks a Luba, and unfortunately Desiree will be able to do piercing damage because of the Link 3. So misplay was I should have summoned this in attack position instead to take less damage. We then go to main. I think he passes turn here. Yeah, he has no further play. So end phase he searches Boldrake, and in our end phase we go Cartesia to add itself to hand and redraw for turn, hoping for the best. At least now we draw into Eclipse, so cool. We then normal summon Kit from hand because we do not have a Albaz fusion monster on the field or grave. So normal summon Kit's effect. My opponent uses Desiree, and then I decide to chain Eclipse here. Opponent then chains the Detonator to pop the Kit, which is fine. At least now we recycle the Brand of Fusion and put back Cartesia to the bottom of our deck. We then go Brand of Fusion, hoping for the best here. We send Albaz and Cartesia into Albion. Then Albion effect, my opponent here does chain the Boldrake, targeting the Albaz, the one only Albaz we have in our graveyard, unfortunately. And 3 of our Albazes end up being banished here. So I was in a difficult position here. Cool. We then banish Cartesia and Kit to summon Grand Gugno. Grand Gugno will dump Serenia. Serenia here will dump Branded Sword. So now we at least have a way to recycle one of our Albazes. We then tribute Albion to summon Lubellion. Lubellion here is going to place Regained. Now here was a bit of a misplay when I entered battle phase. In battle phase we destroyed Boldrake, and unfortunately I attacked Detonator thinking that its defense was 2000. Plus also I forgot that Detonator can protect Xyz monsters by being destroyed by battle. So this was a misplay from me, but at least now he doesn't draw 2 cards off Eclipse, only 1 in this case. So it was a slight misplay, but I guess maybe I should have just gotten rid of Desiree. We then go to end phase because we have no further plays. End phase, I go Albion effect chaining 1, and my opponent is able to chain detonator. So yeah, that misplay is costing me a bit here. We set branded banishment of Albion. That way we'll be able to reborn either Alubo or even Borrowload Furious. For Aluba, if I were to reborn Aluba, I think I wasn't playing Priscinion anymore in this build. I was playing either just Masquerade and Caridas. So end phase, my opponent draws Tract off Eclipse, and he draws Talents for his turn, which is a good draw for him. So my opponent goes to main phase. He uses sequence effect to attach itself, and here I think I go branded banishment, because otherwise Desiree would be able to negate branded banishment. My opponent changed detonator, popping Grand Gugno, which is fine. We summon Furious. Maybe I should have instead summoned Aluba and banish maybe banished Desiree off Aluba to go for Caridas or even Masquerade. But yeah, unfortunately I did not do that, so I went for Furious instead, hoping to just remove monsters on his field. My opponent then goes Aggregator because that was detached off Detonator, so he targets Furious, and I am forced to use Furious now, targeting Lubellion and his sequence. My opponent then goes Talents to take, and that was game. He just switches his monsters to attack, and that is game. So unfortunately we do lose game 1 there. We had a bit of misplays, and yeah, it did cost us there. Game 2 opening hand, we have Quem, Aluba, Adlib, Call by the Grave, and Eclipse. Opponent opens Engraver, Thrust, Sword, Ice, and X'd. Cool. We go to main phase, summon Aluba. Aluba will get the search, and we are popping off because my opponent has no interruption. So Branded Fusion goes into Albion. Albion will go into Lubellion. With Lubellion, I discard the Quem because Quem is no use in our hand. It's fine to leave Adlib in your hand, because if you're able to put Cartesia on the field or branded in red, you have Adlib in your hand, so at least your opponent doesn't know that you have Adlib, So Quem is a Despia name, a Despia target in a graveyard, and it's better just to keep it there than leave it in your hand. So I discard that instead, and I fusion away into Mirror Jade. We tribute Albion to summon Lubellion. Lubellion will place Regained. We don't place Lost because my opponent is playing Bestial, so I decided let me place this in case he banishes any of my lights and darks, so I can shuffle back and draw a card. We set Callby, we set Eclipse, and we go to end phase. Albion here will set Branded in red. Cool. Now, opponent draws for turn, and he draws into Lancia. He goes to main phase. Main phase, he first starts off with Ice Ryzeal, and Ice Ryzeal will summon X. On the summon of X, he goes Chainlink 1 X, and I believe I go Mirror Jade. No, not yet. I'll go Mirror Jade on res because I know my opponent, he could go, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and we have 2 4 6 7. Okay, so I thought there was a good chance that he could go into the Evil Swarm Xyz monster, so I was trying to avoid that, so I went Mirror Jade, banishing 1 level 4, so he has he doesn't have enough bodies to Xyz summon. But on res, we go Regain, shuffling back the X to draw a card, and we draw into Branded in white. Opponent then goes Thrust. Here he searches Evenly Matched. Now I won't lie, when he searched Evenly, I was shitting my pants, but it's fine. We have a way to survive this. So my opponent enters battle phase. At the start of battle phase, I do go Book of Eclipse. So now he can't clear all the monsters on his field, and he loses his battle phase. Main phase 2, my opponent goes Engraver, and we immediately call by the Engraver. No Fiendsmith plays for you. I call by Engraver, hoping that there was no further Fiendsmith engine plays. So anyways, my opponent then special summons X by sending Aggregator. No effects, he doesn't use Aggregator effect here, but he special summons Sword from his hand and searches Ice. On resolution, as I'm trying to prevent my opponent from having too many bodies to Xyz summon, we go Branded in red, targeting Quem, and we banish Adlib, Mirror Jade, and Lubellion. For Chimera, Chainlink 1 Chimera, Chainlink to Adlib to reborn Mirror Jade. With Chimera, we draw Branded in red, good draw, so we have more ways to fusion summon the next turn, and we pop both his level 4 monsters face up. So yeah, no Xyz summon yet for him. My opponent, I think he normal summons Ice. Yeah. No. He special summons Ice by sending the face down card. Here I use Mirror Jade, banishing that. So yeah, I did quite a bit here to prevent my opponent from Xyz summoning, but he had Node in hand. So yeah, he special summons Node. Node discards the evenly and reborns sword. He then overlays into detonator. I think, yeah, he goes for detonator. Detonator will attach the aggregator, which is totally fine. In end phase though, we do go Titan effect. My opponent chains detonator, popping regained. We search Albaz, no point summoning Albaz because it will just get destroyed by detonator. Would it? Yeah, it would. We then go Albion effect, searching branded opening. That's where we can search a Despia monster, and also we're able to put opening into the graveyard to protect our fusions from being destroyed. We then draw for turn. Yeah. Here, sorry, my opponent just wanted to know what I added. So we draw for turn and we draw thrust. Good draw. We go to main phase. We normal summon Quem. Quem will dump Retribution. That way we can add back Branded Fusion in our graveyard back to hand. We go Branded Opening, sending Albaz, summoning Aluba. Aluba will get to search. I think we search Branded Lost. No, we search Branded Sword. Yeah, I think Branded Lost is destroyed, or is it banished or something. I don't know. No point searching Lost because Detonator will pop it even before we perform a fusion summon. So we search Branded Sword, you know, just as a card we can discard. We go Retribution, adding Branded Fusion. We're in a good position here because our opponent does not have Ash Blossom. He does have Valancia in hand, but I don't think that's going to do him any good. Branded Fusion, sending Kit and Albaz because Kit will be reborn of Quem. So Chainlink 1 Lubellion, Chainlink 2 Quem, targeting Kit. Opponent does not chain anything here, doesn't chain Detonator yet. So we go Chainlink 3 Branded Red, targeting Albaz. And here I Fusion Summon, yeah, Fusion Summon into Karidas using the Mirror Jade and Aluba. Summon Kit, and we shuffle back Albaz and Lubellion for Mirror Jade. On res, it's Chainlink 1 Kit, and we chain Karidas. My opponent then only now chains Detonator, popping Chimera, which is fine. It's cool. Let's put Chimera in the graveyard. I could have protected it with opening, but I felt like we have enough on board to deal some damage, so no need to worry. Opponent scoops here because, yeah, I'm gonna have too much advantage, and most probably will have game as well. So we go to game number 3, guys. Game number 3, Ryzeal players going first. Opening hand, we open Lubellion, Quem, Superpoly, Kit, and Sharon. Not a good hand, not a crazy hand, but at least Superpoly does become useful, and you'll see why in a bit. Opponent opens Ryzeal, Cross, Bonfire, Imperm, Ext, and Thrust. So yeah, he has access to his Fiendsmith and his Ryzeal plays just by summoning one Ryzeal monster. So Bonfire searches Ice, and you know where it goes. So Ryzeal plays are here. Searches Sword. Now he's going to go into his Fiendsmith engine. So Desiree is going to hit the field. We're most probably going to see Detonator as well. Opponent has Ryzeal Cross in hand, so I don't think he needs to go into Geo Drive. So my opponent summons Caesar here with his Fiendsmith engine, so there's no Desiree. Caesar, yeah, good card to XC summon. So opponent goes for Geo Drive, searches Node, and he searches Sword. Follow up for next turn. My opponent then special summons Ice. Node reborns itself. I think somehow. Anyways, doesn't matter. The whole point is he's putting bodies on the field. Cool. So let's see what my opponent has here. So my opponent has Abyss Dweller. He has Caesar. Abyss Dweller and Caesar, yeah, two very problematic cards for us. Opponent has Ryzeal Cross to negate a monster effect on resolution. Opponent has a set Imperm, anything engraved. My opponent has Lacrima, which can dump the trap card in Paradise, so that's an interruption as well. So yeah, my opponent had quite a decent board here. So here we drew into D-Barry. So now you guys might be thinking, we're in game number 3, I'm going second, why did I put D-Barry in? I kept D-Barry in just in case that if I'm able to break my opponent's board or to survive going second, D-Barry can just help me survive turn 3 as well. So that's why I kept D-Barry. You know, I don't have a lot of cards to play in when I'm going second against Ryzeal. Obviously, if you watch my strategy video, you would know that I do side in Harpies and Lightning Storms when going second. Obviously, I have Super Poly, Droplet, and Eclipse, but you know, D-Barry sometimes I just decide to put it in because if you're able to call it XEs, maybe it can help you. So sure, we draw D-Barry, but I think it's a good draw for us. So in draw phase, before my opponent gets too trigger happy to activate Abyss Dweller, I go Super Poly first, since I have priority, and we fusion away his Abyss Dweller and Caesar and go straight into Mud Dragon. Cool, so yeah, Super Poly here came in real clutch here, getting rid of Abyss Dweller and Caesar, you know, 2 crazy cards. So boom, Super Poly, really good if the Ryzeal player ends on Abyss Dweller and Caesar, which is really going to happen quite a bit of times. So sure, maybe they will just summon Caesar only, but there's a good chance they'll put Abyss Dweller and Caesar if they can. If they can, they would. So yeah, Super Poly, good card to play against Ryzeal, and here I'm showing you exactly why. So we summon Mud Dragon. On the rares, my opponent does go Lacrima effect, summon Requiem, shuffling herself back, and then I just go, okay, no I don't. So we go to main phase, we go Bestial Rebellion. My opponent doesn't chain anything here, so we search Serenia. We search Serenia because we have Quem. So Quem can just dump Retribution. Serenia, if it's sent to the grave somehow, we can dump Brand of Fusion. We then, I think opponent goes Requiem effect. I think here I go, yeah, I do go Mud Dragon effect, but unfortunately my opponent uses the field spell to sort of negate Mud Dragon's effect. Here I was going to call Light, that way Quem was not going to be impermed, but yeah, it gets negated by the field spell. Lacrima is summoned, dumps the trap, cool. We then normal summon Quem, which gets met with imperm, which is unfortunate. So we enter battle phase because we have no other plays, just get rid of Lacrima and get rid of the Ryzeal monster, so Duo Drive is left on the field. We then go to main phase 2, set D barrier and pass, hoping for the best here. My opponent draws into Bestial Rebellion, so that's good, he can search a Bestial monster and he will be able to draw off Regain. Opponent then goes Engraver effect, shuffling back the Requiem. My opponent then goes, first he goes Ryzeal Cross, the field spell, to shuffle back 2 monsters and draw a card. Here he draws into X Ryzeal, so he has access to Ryzeal plays now. Opponent uses Rebellion, searches Mag. Mag here will banish, I think he banishes a card from Algrave. No, he banishes Ice Ryzeal. Is it Ice Ryzeal? Yeah, Ice Ryzeal. Then he goes Chainlink 1, Regain, Chainlink 2, Mag. Totally fine. Here he draws into Ash Blossom. Crazy draw. So my opponent then decides to enter battle phase. Oh no, sorry. He normal summons X. Yeah, he normal summons X. Before he XC summons, I just go D barrier, calling XCs. Cool, but unfortunately, he synchro summons into Chaos Angel using Mag and X. So basically, his synchro monsters are unaffected by my activated monster effects, and his monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Chaos Angel will banish the Guiding Quem. He then links off into Requiem. So yeah, Desiree is coming into play here, which is totally fine. Engraver summoned, links off into Sequence, but here I just go Serenia, banishing the Requiem, so Requiem no longer is in play. No, it's not going to do much, he's still going to resolve and summon Desiree. So here I decide to use Mud, Cold Dark, so you know, these 2 cards cannot be sent by grave to grave by Desiree. But you know, my opponent manages to put these links as equip cards to Desiree, so he enters battle phase. I take a bit of damage. Serenia dumps Branded Sword because yeah, I don't have any choice. I can't use Retribution, I believe, yeah, because Brand of Fusion, there's no Brand Spell or Trap Engrave, so we send Branded Sword, that way we can add back Quem. So here my opponent has Chaos Angel, he has a Bestial, he has Ash Blossom, and he has Desiree. So my opponent was sitting in a good position. We draw into Branded Retribution for turn. Unfortunately, that's a dead draw, nothing much, and we have Kits in hand, but we cannot special summon Kits, we have to normal summon it. So we go Branded Swords targeting Quem, we normal summon Quem, use its effect. My opponent doesn't negate this, so we send Albaz, and I enter battle phase and just crash for just, you know, I'm going to lose the next turn, so I'm just going to admit defeat here. So unfortunately guys, here we do end up losing. We didn't have enough cards, we don't have any starters or searchers, you know, to hopefully just get Brand Fusion or make better plays. So yeah, it's game, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we do lose here in game number 3, but you know, starting game number 3, turn 1, when it came to our when it came to our turn, we had Super Poly, so you know, that came in clutch. It really did, you know, getting rid of Abyss Dweller and Caesar, but unfortunately my opponent was able to just have a good advantage here, and we didn't have enough to like dodge Desiree, and also hopefully to just play around Ash Blossom and the Bestials as well. So yeah, this was a bit unfortunate, but I think this was a really good duel. You know, We had some interactive plays, and you know, it was a good duel. It wasn't some crappy duel, just floodgates here and there, whatever. Sure, I did use deep area, but listen, the man had synchros and links and fusions he could still summon out, so you know, it is what it is. So yeah, guys, that is the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed it and found it really entertaining. As I said, you know, Superpoly is really good. You can Superpoly away the Abyss Dweller and Caesar into Mud Dragon. Trust me, hitting those 2 Xyz monsters just puts off a lot of interruptions that your opponents can force onto you. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. It was a bit unfortunate that we did lose this, but you know, that is Yu-Gi-Oh, and we learn, and hopefully we can become better. I am going to show you a branded deck list, obviously, for what I was playing in this duel, but please do like, comment, and subscribe. Do join my Discord and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.